Well, welcome back to Kiran vs. India. This is going to be just pretty much like Kiran vs. Travel. This is the Q&A episode. I've asked for all you guys on Instagram to hit me with some questions, really. So I got a couple, and I just want to go over a few of them here without getting destroyed by the mosquitoes out. Also, if you're wondering where I'm at, there's like a canyon place by my home. Trying to practice social distancing without going into too much, nonsense detail. But once I came back from India, I self-quarantined for about a little over 2 weeks before I went out and did anything. And by that I meant like just getting groceries, simple stuff like that. So we're all good now. First question comes from I Am Michael Allen, which is one of my best friends here back home. He asked me, can you do a segment on the most interesting bathrooms that you've BM'd in? I guess this is what that's going to be now. The most interesting restroom I've BM'd in. Any restroom that I went to that was like in a hotel or the hostels were like maintained really well because Westerners are coming, right? So, yeah. And then worst restrooms, I definitely stumbled across a lot of not nice restrooms, but like holes in the floors I just couldn't do, so I just hold it or, just run to the nearest hotel and then offer them like 100 rupees if I could use the restroom, and almost always they didn't even take the money, so that's what I did. The only thing I will say, I was not big on the bidet game. Didn't make any sense to me that you make your butt wet and then you just kind of walk around with the wet butt. Here's what you do. Wet butt is okay if you plan on wiping it afterwards. So I do a little bidet game, a little whippy wipey after that. That's how I attack that. So if from the Western culture, get in the bidet game. It's clean. You're not just rubbing, this is from Aiden Queskin, another one of the good friends back here home. He said, how did you spend your time during the flight? So this is going to be one of the best questions I get. I think that flight is like 20 hours long. It's overwhelming. I took the flight that was probably the craziest, I think, in my opinion. I took the flight from LAX to San Francisco, and then San Francisco straight, which was about 7.5 hour flight, over to India, obviously. So to Delhi, to be precise. What I tried doing the entire time was sleeping, but as you can see, there were a lot of babies crying on that flight, and it was pretty overwhelming. I didn't get a single drop of sleep. I tried my best. I took sleeping medication. What I ended up doing was watching Survivor, different shows on my laptop, pretty much what anybody else tries to do. I also beat the Halo campaign, though. I took my gaming laptop throughout India. It was also an editing rig anyways, but I took that and I just played campaign I had a controller, and that's what I did in India. On my flight. Advice for traveling on a budget. So this is from Kelsey S, which is my cousin, big supporter of the channel, so I want to thank you personally. Great question. So how do you budget? So first off, you need to know, I'd always say over assume how much you're going to spend so that in the process of saving for it, you never feel like... The thing that I was most scared of was me going on one of these trips and then unfortunately not having enough money to do something I really wanted to do. So that would include, like, let's say I'm on a budget of $10 for the day and I stumble across something that cost me $4 or $5 that'll take up half of my budget. I'd be really upset if I wasn't able to attain that. And I know it's different for everybody. Not everybody wants to or has the means to save up a certain amount of money, so that's not the point of it. But I just suggest make sure that on your travels beforehand, get a job wherever you can, and with that job, always over budget. So like save too much money for your travel. If you think it's gonna cost you $4,500, save $4,700, $4,800, $5,000, and it'll take you like 6, 7, 8 months to do that. A lot of people do like the work for 9 to 10 months and then travel for 3 to 2 months. And also, if you have a chance, I'm not gonna get into it because I'm not a financial advisor, but talk to a lot of credit companies, credit cards. Don't run up a huge bill, but I highly recommend using credit cards for the points so that you can travel for free in the future. Do your own research on that. Also, when you're traveling on a budget, use sites like Hostelworld, stay in hostels. Don't be afraid to spend $4, $5, $15, somewhere in that range, in that $5 to $15 range. It's gonna be okay, I promise. Don't be like that guy. I was that guy. I was like, I'm gonna stay in a hotel. What am I gonna share a bedroom with 16 people at some times? No, don't be an idiot. Hostels are the best part of the travels, almost always. The people at the hostel that you'll meet will make the experiences that you experience even better. So check out hostels, speak to locals. I mean, there's so many ways to go about being in budget. So going back on the flight thing, Kelsey asked, how did I stay sane on the long flights and how did I deal with claustrophobia? My biggest tip and trick, every couple of hours, okay, first take an aisle seat. I know the window sounds great for some people. I don't know, you have to be a psycho, but take the aisle seat, it's huge. I get up as much as I please. I don't have to burden anyone during their sleeping time. I get up, I pace the walkway, I pace the restroom. I go to the restroom and I just stand in the restroom, literally just stand in there. It smells bad, but I stand in there. I talk to myself if I have to. You know what I mean? I just do the shakes, just get my shake on, shake it off, as Taylor Swift would say, but I highly recommend doing that. Another great question from Kelsey. How do I recommend on traveling to local spots? Did I Google it? How did I get that? So local spots, definitely make friends with the host at the hostel or the people at the front desk. Those people live in the area you're from. Like 99% of the time, they're your best friend. They're the people that are gonna help you in every way imaginable. Those are the people that you need to befriend. So what I mean by that is when you go in to check in at the front desk, those people are from the area, so they'll more than likely know every little nook and cranny of it. Not only that, do some of the like little adventures that these places provide. And excuse me, what I mean by that is almost always the hostels will provide some kind of team bonding experience, whether that's like they'll do like a party at night or a cookout at night, a potluck at night, and it's always like really reasonably priced. In some cases it's free. Sit down, make some friends with the people there, and maybe they know a spot and they'll mention a spot to you. So the people that you're staying at the hostel with, 99% of the time you're going to be making friends with those in hostels, and they'll have been or are going to go or have knowledge on places that you should look into going to. So I got this question from everyone. I got this question from two of my brothers here, from BJ as well as Logan, and a Nickel as where am I going to travel to next? So it is a little tough to know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that I'll be traveling to doing a little more of a tropical thing, even though I hate like tropical climates. It's not my thing usually. But I'll be traveling to Bali, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Singapore over a month span. They're all in like relatively the same vicinity, so it shouldn't be too bad on the flight cost. And not only that, but it's like will be the same kind of vibe. It's not like I have to pack a fur coat and swim trunks. It'll be like the same climate, no extremely long haul flights, just the one to get to the first destination, and then I'll finish off the rest of India because I did not get to finish it due to coming back early. So that's my next plan of attack. Got a great question from Travellogged20. Thank you for the question. The question is, how often do I travel and what is my best travel memory? So I'm gonna do the cliche of all cliches. I don't think I can like knock it down to just one, but there's a lot of really special things that you'll see in the series that I just finished, which is Kiran versus India. And that being just being able to be free for the first time in a little while, in a sense of like, I had a lot of mistakes that I made, and it was really fun getting to get past them on my own. I'm not used to that. I still live with my family. So it's fun kind of figuring out the answers to the questions or finding solutions to the problems that I'm not accustomed to finding on my own. That was a really nice, empowering thing for sure. Also, the trip with Gugu from Bangalore to Mysore was just splendid. Being able to go on a motorbike, that is something off my bucket list that I can cross off, is being able to just travel on a motorbike, which was splendid. It's splendid. It really was. I cannot speak highly enough for that. But as far as how often do I travel, let's see. Just in September of last year, I went to Cancun, I went to Playa del Carmen, Tulum. I went to those areas, and then I also went to Miami. So those are 2 different travels. One at the beginning of September, one at the end of September. So I have a lot of video from there. So that kind of segues into the next part, which is I'll be doing a kind of like small series on my travels in that area. Don't expect like a big 12 episode series. It's gonna be much shorter, but it should be fun nonetheless to get some workout. And yeah, stay tuned with the channel, guys. If you guys would click the like button, subscribe, comment down below. That does about wrap it up for the Q&As. If you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comments, I'll answer them. Turn on your notifications if I didn't ask that already. Follow all my social media, that's the easiest way to stay in contact with me. And expect a lot more. We have so many more great videos coming out. Like I said, we have the tropical stuff from like Cancun and Miami, as well as some more tips and tricks and a couple more like India hack videos, kind of like things like how I was able to get around India. Nonetheless, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.